We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone.
That is Special Counsel Jack Smith, the first time we've heard him speak. Tonight, Donald Trump's legal issues are growing. A Vermont law school professor weighs in on the rule of law.
This is ABC 22 News at 6.
Good evening on a Friday. Thanks for being with us. I'm Lauren Maloney. First at 6, people around the United States and Northeast are reacting to former President Donald Trump's second indictment, this time an historic federal indictment. He is facing 37 felony counts related to classified documents, including allegations he improperly shared a Pentagon plan of attack. Now, ABC 22's Matt Holderman spoke with local lawmakers and a professor at Vermont Law and Graduate School today. He joins us live tonight in Montpelier with more on just what people are saying tonight.
Well, thanks, Lauren. Well, yeah, certainly a lot of thoughts on this one. Trump is now the only former U.S. president to be indicted on federal charges. As you briefly mentioned, there are 37 charges in total, 31 of which had to do with willful retention of national defense information. Now, of the people who I spoke with today, we start with Professor Jared Carter from the Vermont Law School. His first thought on this was that no matter which way you spin it or who you voted for, he says this is a sad day for America and not something to be proud of. But on top of that, he does not believe this was a politically motivated attack of any sort, as some people have been alleging. And he notes the judge assigned to this case was actually appointed by Trump when he was in office. Regardless, he says what it boils down to is that nobody is above the law.
This narrative that we're hearing from the president and his team of lawyers and political strategists, that this is somehow a Biden appointee prosecutor running amok, I think really does disservice to what a grand jury does. Nobody's above the law. A former president, a politician, a famous person, a homeless person, right? It doesn't matter in this country. And that's what the rule of law is all about.
And we're also hearing reaction from plenty of local lawmakers and officials, and a lot of folks with the Republican Party do believe that Trump is being unfairly targeted here. We'll start with North Country Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, who responded to the indictment last night as well, calling it unprecedented and a sham. Stefanik said, quote, "The American people are smart and understand this is the epitome of the illegal and unprecedented weaponization of the federal government against Joe Biden's leading political opponent. The radical far left will stop at nothing to interfere with the 2024 election," end quote. And we also received a statement from the Vermont Republican Party today on all of this. They said in part, quote, "Once again, news is being made about an indictment of former President Trump regarding changes that have not been made public. If the classified document cases of Trump and Biden are not treated equally, it will further undermine the trust that Americans want in a fair and impartial justice system." And I just want to add on top of that, at the time that statement did come out from the Vermont Republican Party, just a little bit after that is when the documents were unsealed. The party hasn't followed up with a statement since then. But to also give a little insight into what local Democratic lawmakers are saying about this, we heard from Senator Peter Welch yesterday. He believes that lawmakers should just stay out of this and let the legal process take its course. But I also caught up with Senator Bernie Sanders. He was hosting a town hall here in Montpelier just a little while ago, and when I caught up with him about it, he simply said to me, and I quote, "I'm not interested in Trump." Still a lot of information to come from this, and Trump is now expected in federal court this coming Tuesday. But for now, reporting live in Montpelier, Matt Holderman, ABC 22 News.